What's going on, guys? It's your boy Distortionist. I'm pretty new here to Twitch and YouTube and content creating in general, so this is my first take at anything. But what I'd like to discuss today is Titanfall and the future of Titanfall. I've recently been playing a lot of Titanfall 2, revisiting it after probably almost a year, and I was like playing, and I was like, man, why isn't there an esports? Why isn't there competitive for a game like this? Because, I mean, it's intense. It's very strategic. You have to place your, you have to use your Titans when it's time to, when it's, in like games like Attrition, you have the AI, running around the map as well as the team that you're facing. So it's 6v6 at the moment, as far as I know, unless there's another game type that's more than that I don't know about. But something I'd really like to see in the potential Titanfall 3, which I'm pretty sure that we're getting, is some competitive type game modes that we could play, in competitions. One mode that's kind of what you would play at events, what you would play at, on game battles. And I was like, wow, this game really needs its own esports league. And I know that Respawn I think it was their call that they really didn't want the competitive aspect, which I understand, which sometimes it's just you don't want to get into that. But now that esports is kind of picking up and it's becoming a lot more popular for people to watch, I really think Titanfall and the gameplay aspects of it would benefit in the esports arenas. I am getting a group together called Future of Titanfall. If you guys would like to join and just put in some input, we can make content, do group streams together, and then kind of get a wish list together for campaign, co-op, competitive, customization. I'd like to go over, guys that are more on the campaign, more play games more for campaign. They'll be covering more like what they want to see in the campaign, what they want to see in the story, what they want to see, because Titanfall 2's campaign was good, but it was really short. So I'd like to see more see what people that are more on the campaign side of things want to do. Co-op, I'd like to see more of a. I like the frontier defense with the 5 rounds, but I'd like to see more rounds. Grind together as a team and have it as a team of 6 instead of a team of 4, as it is at the moment. And I covered the competitive aspects, customization. I'd like to have some guys to go over customization, what they would want to see in customization, what they would want to see, weapon customization, just the aspects of all the customization for the Titans, for the pilot, for the weapons. So I'd really like to get this group going, get a lot of gameplay going, get the groups and get more people active on Titanfall than they are right now. Because I'm seeing Titanfall on Twitch and it's always under 100 viewers on, and I'd like to see that number go up and help that number go up. If you guys would like to join the team, join the group, it's not really a team, it's more of a group of just Titanfall players that want to see the next game be the best it can be. So that, and if we have all the players that are still loyal to it, then EA is going to be like, okay, these guys are going to be playing Titanfall 3 regardless, so let's take their input and work with it. Obviously, they're not going to do everything we want, but in my opinion, it needs its own competitive mode. So what I would like to see, and I'll just go over some of my ideas. If you guys ever played Chrome Hounds back in Xbox 360, man, that game, that was forever ago. But it had the faction. I like that Titanfall has the factions that you play for. But what I'd like to see is maybe in a so you'd have a social match where you're not fighting for your faction, but then if you're playing a ranked match, that's actually going to go towards your faction. And kind of how Chromehounds did it was, you would have, it had 3 factions that had, and they each started on a big pieces of the map, and you would go and fight to take over the map, and that would be the season. Whoever had the most of the map covered, whichever faction had the most area covered, won that season. And then all the players that were in that faction for the majority of the time would, you know, be rewarded for their efforts. I'd like to see something implemented like that, but then I'd like to see more private lobby. You know, I would like the private lobbies to be a lot more user friendly, because right now they're really not. They're kind of hard to get into. So I'd like to see, so you have the network. So within the factions, you'd have the networks of groups that play together and fight for the one faction. And I mean, obviously you could switch factions, but only at the end of each season. And maybe more than one faction, so that we could have multiple factions fighting for one big map, multiple maps. That's just something I'd personally like to see. I'd also like to see the competitive side come out. The movement in Titanfall is different from any other game. To me, I like the parkour aspects, and it's just intense, very intense gameplay. So I feel like in an arena, and people, you know, even the spectators are gonna be like into the game, very very concentrated on their teams, on what team they're rooting for. I'd like to see more game modes for the competitive side of it. So maybe a big map with 3 big hills to capture, kind of like Escalation in Gears of War 4. That game mode is very fun to watch and play. But I'd like to see, and we could even have a, you know, attrition competitive style where the team captain can actually command the AI on the map. And we'd have, obviously in the competitive scene, we'd have to have a limit on how many Titans you could spawn at one time. So that obviously, but you'd have like maybe 2 people on your team that are designated Titans. So when they get the Titan, they're the ones that call them in and you know, do the damage. But let me know what you guys think. I definitely want to keep this going. So hit me up on Twitter. It's _distortionist. You can hit me up on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/distortionist. Or you can even hit me up on Instagram if that's all you have. And I believe that's _distortionist too. So let me know what you guys want out of Titanfall 3. And we'll get a group together and really show EA what the players want. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you next time.